Oh my god, guys, it's Minecraft time. Check it out. We're at day 300. This is the island. We got the AFK mob farm up there. We have to game mechanics because the enchantment system is so horrible. And you might be wondering, bro, this is not much for 300 days. Like, what have you been doing for 300 days? Well, we have another island over here. Now, something I want you to pay attention to. When I look over here, look at my FPS in the upper left-hand corner. Now look at my FPS in the upper left-hand corner. You might be wondering, what in the actual is tanking my FPS that much? Check this out, though. We got the American flag here. The freedom... I actually forgot to get rid of this sheep pen. Bro, what? Guys, yeah, check it out. We got the American flag here. What does that stand for? The freedom to exploit anyone and anything weaker than you. That's what this island stands for. Check out the crib over here. We got the crib. This child is frozen in fear. We also obviously have beef jerky up here. Eventually, I'll get my chef to cook this guy up, and we'll make a decent meal out of this right here. Oh my god, guys. Is this a hidden security camera system? Is this literally a data center for security cameras on my island right here? If you guys see any security cameras in this video, make sure to comment it in the description below. Now you might be wondering, why is there so many sheep? There's sheep shearing going on. Well, how does bro have so many wool, right? How does bro have so much wool? How is bro so rich? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Look, I'll let you in on a little secret, but you can't tell anyone. If you tell anyone about this secret, this sword will go in your goddamn neck, boy. Okay? I've got shooters. Okay, don't mess with me. Anyways, let's go check it out. So, as we go down here, don't worry about that sound. That's nothing. Don't worry about it. Ignore it. There's so much noise down here, I almost can't even focus. You might be wondering, is it healthy for these sheep to be kept in a pen like this all day of their entire lives and never seeing the light of day? Well, I mean, they don't look that unhappy. You'd think that they'd have, you know, at least tried to fight back. And honestly, like, they needed to be sheared anyway, so I don't really see it as, like, a or anything. To be honest, I'm kind of doing them a favor, and it's just like a happy medium of me being able to sell the wool for profit, right? And as you can see, my helpful little workers here, I pay them at least 3 pennies a day. They also don't die as long as they keep working for me, so I think it's honestly kind of a pretty good deal. Let's polish these boys off. Don't clip that. Yeah, then if you come into here, as you can see, we have a little dog pen here. So, you know, this is a dog breeder. I perform on dogs here to breed designer baby dogs that are cute so that they can be sold for a profit, right? But I know people, you know, they feel some type of way about dogs. Oh, I don't want the dog to be torn, right? So basically what ends up happening is these dogs, as you can see, they're free-range dogs. They have a whole field here. They've got that. They got the sun. I mean, isn't that kind of cool? They even got Clifford right here. And basically what you do is you take something like this, okay? Or even better yet, we can just use chicken because we got a whole chicken manufacturing plant right there. So if you just take some chicken right here, right? I'll take these 2 dogs, right? Oh, they got to stand up to Alright, so you stand up right there and you breed them. And if the dog... Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so this dog is kind of, he's kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie. That dog is kind of ugly. And the ugly ones... Wow. I did not know that... Bro was just looking at it. Yeah, you know, to me it doesn't really make much sense how people have a problem. Like, people seem to get all up in arms about dogs, but from my perspective, it's kind of like, you know, why do you only have empathy for the animals that we've selectively bred, aka performed on, to make them cute and fluffy like we like them? You know, it's like, why do you only have empathy for the cute and fluffy ones? You know, the chickens next door, I can just massacre them in the billions and people don't even give a shit. But, you know, I kill a few dogs that won't make me any profit and people all of a sudden throw a fit. It doesn't make any sense. Alright, anyways, I'm moving on from that shit. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, basically, this is chickens. As you can tell by this chicken, this basically, I was performing on the chickens, right? It makes it more profitable if you selectively breed. You know, that's the term we use for it in the industry. We breed them to get bigger, right? We breed them to have more eggs and get bigger. And unfortunately, this little guy right here just turned out to be so goddamn big that he literally couldn't stand on his leg. His legs just broke under the weight of his own body weight, and so he just kind of slumped over and his legs are just kind of like chilling here and but basically what I decided to do was hollow him out, you know, because he couldn't move anyways. He was just stuck down here, so we just hollowed him out, and I used his carcass as a breeding ground for all of these chickens. All of these chickens happen to be female. All of the male chicks just get sent straight to the meat grinder, okay? If you're born male as a chick, you just have to die because you can't lay eggs and you're not profitable. So as you can see right here, this is all the male chicks here. We end up cooked chicken right here. This is a meal, you know, people love this stuff. There's restaurants all around the corner just taking advantage of these abused innocent animals that I've managed to capitalize their flesh, you know. I'm farming their flesh. These guys, they're putting away the stuff in the chest, doing their damnness there. It's like a Sisyphusian task, though, because as you can see, I mean, I go through billions of these little right? You know, some of you guys might be like, oh, wait, why are you like a chickens? Like, this is horrible conditions. But honestly, does the lion not eat the deer? And also, you know, it's kind of hypocritical, right? Because every time I harvest those crops, you're killing like billions of bugs, like hundreds of millions of bugs are dying when you harvest the crops, right? And so honestly, like, you know, sadly, we don't live in a perfect universe. And so basically what that means is that because you always will cause harm when you eat, that basically gives me free range to just kill and abuse anything I want, right? Killing these chickens, you know, it's perfectly fine. I know I could just eat like potatoes or maybe some beans or something, but I would much rather just eat the flesh of a innocent baby chicken. Anyways, moving on to the pig pen over here. As you can see, Jesus Christ. As you can see, I literally can't hear fucking anything. Yeah. It's just like, I don't even, I can't hear fucking anything. It's literally hurting my fucking ears just standing here. Listen to this. Listen to this fucking shit. It's like a fucking zombie apocalypse. Oh my god. Okay, you can't even see what I'm trying to show you, but like, maybe I can get a little, you see that little carpet right there? Yeah, there's supposed to be green and brown carpets on the ground, and that's them living in their own piss and shit. That's the joke. They're living on— I gotta get the fuck away from that. Oh my fucking god, that is horrible. Dude, there is not— I gotta run all the way over here to get some quiet in this goddamn place. Jesus Christ. Like, there's no place in this build that is quiet. Like, my ears are literally hurting from that. That's the first time I've seen that, because, like, I bred them, but they weren't all grown up, and so it wasn't that loud. And now that they're all grown up, it's like the entity cramming is just ridiculous. Okay, I gotta get back into character. Yeah, some of you guys might be like, oh, is it mean to like farm pigs like that? Well, you know, honestly, I just think like pigs are kind of gross and stuff. I mean, a lot of you guys are really hypocritical, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll be online and like, oh, you see, oh, Ross Creation shot a possum like 40 feet into the air with a slingshot. Oh my god, that's so horrible. And then you're also eating the like dead flesh of a animal that had nothing, you know, completely innocent. So it's like, you know, kind of tit for tat. Like, I don't see why I can't just the shit out of these pigs. Alright, but yeah, here's my favorite room. This one is, I just want to go ahead and say before the pigs are so distracting. Before I enter this room, I just want to go ahead and say, I'm just gonna show it.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
So basically, these cows right here are getting ready to be processed. And what I mean by processed is they're currently being steamed, as you can see. Eventually, once they're cooked well enough, I'll just drop them onto these saw blades. Don't burn me, that's for the cows. But yeah, they'll get dropped onto these saw blades, and then they'll get processed, and all this stuff on the ground. It's just, you know, entrails and guts or whatever, but, you know, I don't know. I don't really feel like cleaning it up. I mean, it's kind of just like an endless task. And here over here, you have your little milking station. This is where you can drink the baby cow formula of innocent animals. It tastes really good, you know. You need this stuff to go tall, right? Like, I mean, it's got like calcium or something, you know. I know all this stuff is meant for baby cows, but, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. And, you know, if you're gonna have milk, like, you need these mama cows to be pregnant, right? Like, all of these cows are pregnant, and their babies will eventually be put up on the fucking string right here and cooked alive. But you need them to be pregnant, and so over here what we got is the artificial insemination spot. So yeah, this is where you can inseminate the cows. That is not supposed to be there. Hold on, let me clean that up real quick. Yeah, basically, you know, sorry, I had to clean that up. Like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I spilt some milk onto the floor, and, you know, you kind of have to clean it up every now and then. But yeah, basically, I can go ahead and show you how we inseminate these cows. So normally what you would have to do is you'd have to put your whole entire arm, like, all the way down to your elbow into the cow's ass, you know, to artificially inseminate it. Because we need to have them pregnant so that we can steal their milk and sell it for profit, but we also need to have the little babies so that we can continue to cook them alive and process them eventually, right? I was just like, yeah, it's kind of like really gross to like put your whole entire arm like up to your elbow into a cow's. So we just have this machine here that does it for me. And as you can see, we can increase or lower the speed here. This one's a little bit slower. That one was the fastest option. That's if you like really need to get it going, but you know, sometimes they're a little bit more sensitive. Sometimes they've given birth to so many cows that they just, you know, they're out of it, right? The cows just can't take it anymore. So you gotta go really slow with them, right? Once their bodies can't take the anymore, pretty much, you just gotta string them up here and just cook them and then, you know, process them for selling on a supermarket aisle. But yeah, also we got these designer clothes here. Check it out. A lot of people wear leather as like a status symbol, and I honestly understand why. You know, like, I feel like Hannibal Lecter while I'm wearing this. Honestly, it's kind of cool. It's like Hannibal Lecter, but it's legal, and that honestly makes it a lot really cool. It's like a status symbol, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I can afford to torture innocent animals and then wear their dead skin, that's honestly really cool. And like the plastic leather or whatever, that stuff is like totally made by the World Economic Forum. Like, it's kind of gay, you know? Like, honestly, it's kind of gay to wear like plastic leather, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you eat beans or whatever, you're honestly like probably got low testosterone or stuff like that. So, you know, I would rather just wear the dead flesh of a fucking, innocent animal. So, yeah, we can take this off, just put it back on the shelf here. You always want to put it back, because these are designer clothes. Like, these are really expensive stuff. Like, it's a status symbol to be able to wear the dead, rotting flesh of an animal, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that red one right there got infected with some type of, like, disease or something. Like, the doctor said it was something like mad cow disease, like, but I don't really care. Eventually, once he's ready, I'm just gonna process him too and just put him in the food supply, you know? Mad cow disease, I don't know, he's a little bit crazy, a little bit kooky. I mean, I don't know. You kind of want to get people like that off the street anyways, so... but yeah, that's the build, guys. It's really cool. As you can see, we have exploited and taken advantage of all of the most innocent beings, you know, the beings who have absolutely no ability to fight back. This is what I've been doing on my Minecraft world for the first 300 days. But really, I've got one more thing to do. I got one more little thing to do before we end this video. And what that is we just like to do a little bit of fishing, right? Because... you know, nothing speaks to the exploitation of completely innocent animals like ripping them out of their environment with a fish hook to the mouth. But it's okay because, you know, this is actually really relaxing. It's relaxing. I enjoy innocent animals. It's really honestly just like a pastime. Like, if you sit here in the evening when the sun's going down, you just fish a little bit. You know, you can these fish, but it's okay because normally what ends up happening is I just let them go. Like, you know, after I drag them out of their environment, you know, with a fish hook to them. Oh, look! Oh, yo, look! Oh my God, he's like, dude, this fish is crazy, yo, he's literally bleeding. This fish is literally bleeding. That's crazy. Holy, he's like 10 pounds. Look at him. He's like 10 pounds. That's so crazy. Oh my God, the fish just? He was so scared that I guess he like nut on himself or whatever. But anyways, yeah, look, it's okay that I've, you know, ripped this innocent animal out of its environment. And now I'm just gonna let it go. As you can see, let the fish go back into their environment. You know, now it's like exhausted and vulnerable and in excruciating pain. You know, I ripped it out of the water, so it was definitely suffocating, but it's okay. You know, I took some pictures with it, so it'll last forever. Its sacrifice won't be in vain. As you can see, we're fishing here at the nighttime. Dude! Look at this one! This one's like 20 pounds! Oh my God, that's crazy, man. As you can see, I always release them back into the wild, and the reason why I release them back into the wild is because I care enough to release the animals that I've tortured back into their environment, you know? It's almost like if you were to, you know, kidnap someone's child and then, like, just, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you just take some pictures with them, like, oh, yo, what's up, dude? Just kidnapped your kid, and you just bring it back, you know, and release the kid back. You know, it's really cool. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys have enjoyed your stay at my island here at the most free island on the planet here. We stand for all types of exploitation and pleasure. Yo, we got a name tag. Oh my god. Guys, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Fishing is so cool. I see fishing as the IRL loot box for grown men. What better way to bond over a fantastic evening with your son than to some innocent animals, and maybe you'll even get a name tag, right? In all reality, though, basically, if you couldn't tell, the point of this video, and I am a horrible actor, so I'm sorry. I know I probably, like, ruined it, but the point of this video was basically to celebrate 2 years vegan. I've been vegan for 2 whole years. And believe it or not, I'm not dead yet. I know, that's right. I'm actually about a month away from 2 years vegan, and I'll be 2 years vegan in September, around like the 20th or something like that. I don't know the exact date. And yeah, basically the point of the video, if you couldn't tell by the Epstein Temple, basically what I'm trying to say is the way that we interact with animals as a society is basically like how Epstein interacted with children. And so yeah, that's all I had to say in this video. Basically, all I was trying to do was poke a little bit of fun at how absurd we act towards animals. I mean, we are just genuinely, like, we really just have zero empathy for animals. It's so funny because the only animals that we really have sympathy for are the ones that we've literally performed eugenics on to fit our desires perfectly. Like, we've bred dogs to be docile, we've bred them to be cute, and those are the ones that we love. It's just like, I can't think of something that's more psychopathic than that. But yeah, I'm not here to tell you to go vegan. That's not the purpose of this channel. I just wanted to talk about it because it's something that's very important to me, and I thought that comedy was one of the best ways that I could express myself. Linked in the description, there will be some vegan YouTubers that you can look into if you want to actually address the topic in a mature way. And also, there's going to be 2 documentaries, which I'm just going to go ahead and warn you, these documentaries will probably ruin your day. They don't sugarcoat it. They literally show you what goes on inside of factory farming. Like, even down to, you know, slaughterhouses and stuff like that. Like, it shows you it all. There is no censorship on these documentaries, and it's pretty brutal and horrible. But for me, at least, when I first went vegan, I found it very valuable to actually know what I was supporting, you know? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be mad at you or whatever, because if you don't know, like, you just don't know. It makes sense to me why people would look at me being so annoyed at this, and like, I won't lie, like, I've tried to make videos where I talk about it in a mature way, and most of the time it's literally just me yelling into a microphone. Like, this topic infuriates me. Seriously. The way that these animals are treated is literally it is the worst horror movie I've ever seen. It is just the most horrible thing ever. And if you have any conscience at all, if you see this, it's going to infuriate you too. And to see people just react with just so much ignorance and denial, it's infuriating, I won't lie. Especially with me being vegan for 2 years and knowing just how easy it is. Like, this is not a big sacrifice, but people literally just have no empathy for animals. It drives me crazy because people will constantly reiterate back to me, oh no, I do have empathy for animals, oh, I do have empathy for animals. And that gives me hope in a sense, because someone who actually knows about this stuff and still refuses to act, they are literally just like a psychopath. But someone who literally just is so ignorant that they unironically just don't know how easy it is, they don't know how horrible the conditions are for most of these animals, you know, at least those people have potential to see reason when they actually see what it actually is like. But it makes sense why people would look at me as someone who's just like over-exaggerating or being ridiculous, because they just don't know. People don't know. They haven't seen it, you know? But I don't think ignorance is an excuse. I think you have to inform yourself. If you're going to continue to support these industries financially, you need to inform yourself. And so I would behoove you to actually watch it. Try to watch it. Me personally, I was never able to finish them. I don't think I've ever made it past 30 minutes in both of these films, literally. I try to watch them, and I just can't. I can't watch them. They're too much for me. But then again, I'm not the one who's making them go through that. You know, I've stopped. I used to, and I wish I never did, but I literally just didn't know, and so I can't hold that against myself. But now that I know better, it's upon me to take the action, or I have to reflect on what that means about me. You know, what does it say about me that I really just don't care enough to take 3 steps down the supermarket aisle to buy a plant-based milk instead of, animal milk. Choose convenience over that animal's entire life being one raised in an environment of, like, damn near Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie set. Like, that's what they're raised in. It's just horrific, unbelievably horrible conditions. That's all I had to say, and yeah, hopefully I didn't offend anyone, although I know I will, because there's so much cognitive dissonance around this topic that you just can't not offend someone. I mean, seriously, people get so offended at veganism, it's just laughable.